Hello, I'm Mary Kay Carson. I'm the author of Wildlife Ranger Action Guide. It's a book for kids who want to be a hero for local wildlife. We all want to help wild animals, and you can do a lot to protect the birds, bugs, and other animals that live in your backyard and surrounding neighborhood. Helping local wildlife is about creating habitat where they can thrive. Good wildlife habitat has 4 ingredients: food, water, shelter, and nests. You can't always provide all 4 ingredients for every animal, but everyone can help by doing something for wildlife. Today I'm going to show you how to make a house for native bees. It's one of the activities that's in my book. Bees need our help. Bees are pollinators. They move pollen from one plant to another. This fertilizes plants so the plants can make fruit, seeds, and can reproduce and spread. Bees help grow plants. Honeybees are pollinators, especially of plants that people eat like fruit trees and farm crops. But honeybees aren't native to North America. They were brought here along with other farm animals from Europe with settlers. Native bees are also pollinators, and they pollinate native plants. Native plants and wildlife are the plants and animals that belong here, the plants and animals that have always been here. There are thousands of species of native bees, and many of them are in danger of going extinct. So making habitat for native bees is very important, and it's also a lot of fun. This is a native bee house that I made last year. You can see that bees have laid their eggs inside of the little tubes, and they cap them off with mud, and then this year the bees will hatch out and fly away and start to pollinate. So it really works. So this is what we're going to make today. The materials you'll need to make a bee house are a can, a metal can. This is a metal soup can. It doesn't really matter what size it is. It can be smaller than this, or you could even use a bigger can, like this is a coffee can. Any size is okay. You'll need some glue, some wood glue. You can also use just plain white glue. And you'll also need some toilet tissue, cardboard rolls, or you could also use a cardboard roll from paper towels. You'll need some string or some twine, a pair of scissors, and the last thing you'll need are paper tubes. And you can either use paper straws. These are ready-made paper straws you can buy. All sizes are good, and in fact, it's good to have different sizes because different kinds of native bees like different sized holes. If you don't have paper straws, you can also make your own. And so I'm going to show you how to make your own paper straws, and then we'll get started making our bee house. The paper tubes that you put into your bee house need to be about a 1/2 inch shorter than the can. So whether they're a store-bought straw, paper straw, or tubes that you're going to make yourself, they'll need to be about a 1/2 inch shorter than the can because they go inside the can, and you want them to not stick out of the can because you don't want them to get wet. And so one thing you can do is cut a straw or a tube to be your measurement so you know how long you want your straws or your paper tubes to be. If you use a soup can, this is like a Progresso soup can, it's handy because the paper straws that you buy pretty much can be cut in half. If you're gonna make your own paper tubes, you can just take pieces of paper, and it can be any kind of paper. It could be scrap paper from your recycling, not shiny paper, not magazine print paper, but some other kind of paper. And what you're gonna do is simply use a pencil to make a tube, roll it up, and then you take some tape, tape it shut, and now you have a tube. And then you can use your measurement straw to cut your paper tube to size. Once you have enough paper straws cut to the right height or paper tubes that you made to fill up a can, then you're ready for your next step, and that's the glue. So you take your wood glue, you squeeze a bunch into the bottom of a can, and then remember the tissue paper rolls or cut paper towel rolls that you have. You just stick them in to the can, into the glue, and then you take all of the paper tubes and straws that you cut to the right height, and you just start filling up the toilet tissue rolls. So then when you're finished putting in as many as you can, you need to let it dry. And you can see they're already nice and snug in there. The last thing is to make a hanger for your bee house. And you can just use any kind of string or yarn that you have. And you want to move it around on the can so that the can hangs down a little bit. You can see how if it was raining, the water would run off the can, instead of if it was up like this, the rainwater would go in the can. And so now you can hang it, and you can hang it from a tree branch, or you can hang it on a front porch where there's shelter, and the native bees will find it. Once they find it, they crawl in with a little bit of pollen, and they pack it into the back of the tube, and then they lay their egg, and then they seal it off with some mud, and then you wait for the next year, and the native bees hatch out. Have fun with your native bee house, and thank you for helping native bees and local wildlife. If you want more ideas or activities on how to help wildlife in your own backyard and neighborhood, check out Wildlife Ranger Action Guide. Thank you.